as they are my kids for as long as Ann and I have been together. And in fact, I don't talk about this very much, but last February, Ryan came home from college, and I got this thing from ThinkGeek. ThinkGeek sells this. ThinkGeek sells this like laser star planetarium projector thing. It puts all these green stars all over everything. If you set it up right, you can spread it out so it goes like on both walls and on the ceiling. It's awesome. So I was just like, I turned that on, and I was just like laying down on the floor and watching it. And Ryan came in to the living room and laid down next to me. And we were looking up at these fake stars. And Ryan said, so I was thinking. And I said, well, good for you. That's what you do in college. Don't ask, don't tell. I'll see what actually goes on. And he said, I've been thinking, you've been a really great father to me my whole life. And I was wondering if you would want to adopt me. It remains the single greatest moment in my life. And you know how, for those of you who are married, you spend a lot of time thinking about how you're going to ask your hopeful future mate to marry you. You plan the whole thing, you set it all up, and you kind of go over in your mind how it's going to go down and what you're going to do, and then when it actually happens, there is that moment after he or she says yes, where your brain goes, is it yes, right? As like you wait for the switches to fall into place, as like the next little part of the proposal subroutine can execute. So there was this moment where we laid around the floor watching these like wonderful fake little shooting stars go across the ceiling, where I just thought, like, I've waited forever for this. Like, I wanted to adopt them since they were, little. And I said, yeah, of course, I would love to do that. Let's go right now. It took a long time. It was a really long process. State of California makes adult adoptions really difficult. Unnecessarily difficult. Somebody must be getting, there must be a bureaucracy in place that needs to be supported or something. But we eventually did it. And when they were little, their bio dad kind of spent a lot of their childhood trying very hard to drive a wedge between them. And it sucked for all of us. And I'm not athletic. I'm exceptionally uncoordinated. Dexterity is my dump staff. So rather than try to get into the stupid pissing match with their biological father about playing sports, I just introduced them to gaming because it was what I loved, it was what I liked to do, and it really formed. It's one of the load-bearing pillars in our relationship, the relationship between me and the kids. I said in my PAX East keynote that gaming is the foundation of and the mortar which holds together the most important friendships of my life. And it also helped build the most important relationship in my life, which is my relationship with my kids. So when I look back at these old stories that I have a lot of stories about gaming with kids from when they were in middle school and high school. I get a little verklempt when I read them because I remember just sort of how difficult it was for all of us back at that time. Just trying to be a family. With constantly having an outside force just kind of going, you can't be a family because I said so, crash, crash, crash. And that I was able to sort of create these worlds in games where nothing else mattered, was really important to me. When I talk about games being important to me, I think I mean it more than I'm able to communicate. So this story is from 2006, when they were both, when Ryan was in high school and Nolan was in junior high school. And 4th edition hadn't come out yet. I was playing a little bit of 3rd edition with some of my friends. I was still, I think that my friends and I started a 3rd edition game probably like 3 months before. We were still trying to resolve the grappling from our first combat. And I was questioning whether improved initiative was actually the thief would take in. I talked to them a lot, talked to the kids a lot about how I wanted to like play D&D with them. And it came up all the time. But it was one of those things that became so important to me, like give them a good D&D experience, that I sort of settled into the safety of not trying, because I was afraid that I would play and I would be a bad DM. I kind of had a reputation when I was younger for scoring a lot of TPKs. Not on purpose. It's not my fault. They're all magic users with 4 hit points. Check for traps. I gave you all 10-foot poles. What do you think they're for? And if you get down that 15-foot corridor in less than an hour, you're doing it wrong. So anyway, that's just a little background to this story, which actually isn't really about D&D, it's about machine. But anyways, so. Late in the afternoon, while I stood in front of the refrigerator and tried to talk myself into preparing dinner rather than ordering a pizza, because my wife was gone. I first inexplicably left that out of the introductory paragraph of the story. Like I said, these chapbooks, very ghetto, very lo-fi. Very not copy edited. The kids walked into the kitchen together. Hey, Will, Ryan said, can we play D&D? Yeah, Nolan said, you keep saying that we'll play, but we never do. Guys, I said, you know, I haven't had time to get together anymore. Their shoulders slumped. But, I said, I have an idea that I think may be as much fun as you. I closed the refrigerator door and went to the phone. Go to my big trunk of games and bring out a game called Munchkin. I ordered a large pizza and met them at the dining room table. Nolan held the box in his hands. Okay, I said, so, this is just like D&D, without any of the annoying role-playing. This is D&D the way I played it when I was your age. The thing is, I said, you can't take this game seriously. At all. Even a little bit. The whole point in Munchkin is to screw with each other and come up with really lame ways to beat each other up. Oh, I'm gonna like this, Ryan said. I walked them through the rules and we started our first game. I desperately hoped that they would grok the game and wondered if they'd get into the spirit of Munchkin. A few hands in, when I was to about level 4 or 5, I used up a few cards to defeat a level 10 floating nose. That's an ancient floating nose, Ryan said, tossing out the card, coming up to level 16. Ryan gets Munchkin. I played most of my remaining cards, and I said, okay, I defeat the floating nose. Ah, you sure did, Nolan said. Oh, but guess what? He drew a card from his hand and slammed it down on the table. It has a mate. Okay, Nolan gets it too. Crap. I looked through my hand and I pulled out a +2 buckler of swashing for 400. Okay, I bribe the flaming nose's mate and make a masterful escape. Oh man, I'll get you next time. So he made a fist at me and shook it. I couldn't recall the last time I had so much fun with the two of them. During the second game, I asked Ryan to help me defeat a Pikachu, which Nolan had made humongous. What's in it for me, he said. give you this +2 singing and dancing sword.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen, he said. He's already got one, you see.
Did he just quote Holy Grail? He snickered into his hand. I told him we already got it. You realize that there is only one +2 singing and dancing sword in the game, right?
I don't want to talk to you no more. Blow my nose at you. Fart in your general direction.
I looked across the table at Nolan. He looked back at me like Ryan and I were conversing in a foreign language. Which we were. Talking about. Oh my God, Nolan, it's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Ryan said. It is the funniest movie ever. He turned to me. Sorry, you're on your own. I looked at Nolan. Nolan just laughed, and I had to discard my entire hand when I rolled a 2, all to the away. We played several games, messing with each other, helping each other, double-crossing each other, scarfing down an entire large pizza. It was just like D&D when I first played. Oh, that way.